I don't think a video of this caliber exists yet, because when I search up Albion Small Scale Guide, the first thing to come up it's a beginner's guide from Celestics. So I think it's about time something is done about that. Unlike my previous videos, which are just like claptages, this one's gonna follow more conventions of a guide rather than a compilation video, but I'm gonna try to make it as interesting as I can. Alright, so how to play Kite Part 1? So, what is offensive setup? Basically, every engage that kills has a coincidence leading up to it. Things like lack of stoppage, reflect, healing, cleanses. Guard runes, for example, usually can save a small clump of people. Same with cleanse. You don't actually realize it, but you know exactly what these properties are without even having to think about it. So when they're off, you can tell. And it's not just about how they're being controlled, it's about how they're being used as well. If guard rune or cleanse is used on a fake engage, those defensives won't be available for the real one. But instead of hoping that the enemy does the mistake, we use offensive setup to deny them from playing at all. And with that, making defending and stopping an engage incredibly hard. So how do we pull this off? There are three main roles we use to replicate offensive setup in the fights, and one is Polehammer, where the setup is focused on sniping the guard rune players with the stun, and knocking up the enemy root bomb with the Gazer. Another one is Great Arcane, which is being used to freeze big clumps of people stacking or holding overextended tanks. And finally there's Judicator Helmet, which is being used to stun the whole engage in order to deny those demon armors on the engage. Depending on the engage, usually a combination of these three techniques are being used. Here's a couple examples. In this engage, for example, a Great Arcane catches the frontline stacking, but added on top of that, the second GA catches most of the support players to the north, and then the Polehammer finishing it off by stunning the rest of the D-tanks, leading up to a very clean frontline engage. Another nice example is where the Cobra and the GA combo catches the backline stacking, and Polehammer stuns and gazers all the guard rune players. Don't ask me who that guard rune player right there is. And the clump gets deleted. Sometimes all that's needed are two well-placed GAs. The skill ceiling in this comes from the coordination, because good setup tanks usually have to be vocal to not only make the same play, but that it fits the vision of the caller. And the results are exciting because through this we can make any type of engage work, and playing against us is extremely hard. Before you start doubting yourself on how the fuck are you gonna recognize and identify those def tanks and supports mid-fight without cocking the engage, well, let me tell you the secret sauce. These days everyone's stuck in a mindset that every party should have the full comp, rinse and repeat, but this is actually not very smart. The ones who should really be in the main party are DPS and healers and, well, supports. Every peel tank and setup tank should be in their own party, for one reason only. Marks in Albion are extremely underrated. Most of the players just mark the callers and that's it, but how we do it is we make an exclusive party just for the setup/peel tanks, and we use every mark to their full potential. Obviously you don't have to have the same marks, but what we do is we have crown on our own collar, shield on the enemy collar, and then everything else is put on the guard rune players and enemy stop tanks like Arcane. And then all you have to do is to just control those marks, and the enemy doesn't have any supports or stoppage for a short period of time. We also have to remember that the black zone is full of brawl zergs, and how you play against them is you just mark the high value tanks like Staff of Balance, GA, Cobra, sometimes even an A3 DPS like Astral or Galatine, and you just GA or stop or peel them however you want. As long as you see them early, that's enough. Most of the times though, if you're playing Kite nowadays, you're gonna hide behind walls unless you get some balls and you go outside, touch some grass, die a little bit, learn how to peel, but I kind of understand, cause sometimes fighting a full monkey brawl in their home zone is impossible to peel forever, and just takes the fun out of it. Either way, this isn't a peel guide, I'll probably make one eventually, but let's just focus on the offensive setup. There's one defining feature that separates a good setup player from a great one. and that's understanding tempo. For example, by viewing every play from a resource perspective allows you to analyze fights better, to see every play in real time as an exchange of resources. Basically, to win a fight, you need to consistently win trades by draining the enemy resources whilst giving them the least amount in return. Great way to do this is fake engaging or denying the enemy from countering till we have cooldowns up again is a very good trade of resources, especially since the introduction of the tornado pot in the meta, which can be very toxic. My personal favorite is just tornado pot, a melee claps and gates. There's just something fun about seeing those bracers flying backwards. Currently, I can think of couple examples of very good trade of resources. Take a look at this clip from a fight we had a couple weeks ago. I tornado.
I have it full check.
One tornado potion stopping the engage gave us enough momentum or tempo to blink into the enemy and then get a counter GA, and well, what can I say, our DPS sucks. Another example is this clip from my old guild Finstack. Basically, the enemy fell for a fake and then ended up panic engaging, and that gave us momentum to just GA and full wipe in one engage. Basically, from a setup tanks POV, understanding when you have tempo or momentum lets you know if you have to go offensive or full delay/defensive. And at the end of the day, that's the most important role of a setup tank. They need to play reactive. To conclude this video, despite the drawback on having to be vocal and coordinate with other players, offensive setup is an incredible tool to use. Some weapons do require more practice to use to their full potential, such as the Great Arcane Tornado Potion combo and Pole Hammer with, weird ass hitbox. You do have to understand that Pole Hammer is an incredible peel weapon as well, but I honestly would go in a lot more detail, but I want to save that for the future. So for now, thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you learned a thing or two, and until next time.